Hey everyone, woohoo, thanks for tuning in. So if you're watching now, we are going to make doggy birthday cakes. I am Jerry James Stones and welcome to another episode of JJS Live. I'm super excited about today's recipe because for one, I've actually never made pet treats before. So this is a first for me. Super excited about that. I've partnered up with my friends over at Mother Nature Network who have all this great content. They have great regular recipes for us humans, but also lots of great pet content on pet safety, pet recipes, pet care. And today I'm going to showcase one of their recipes for these delicious, I'm assuming, I haven't actually tried one, but I'm assuming delicious doggy birthday cakes. So, making treats for your pet especially is a really great way to bond with your pet. I think that knowing what you put in your own food is important, but it's also really important to know what goes into your pet's food. And here's a great way to celebrate your pet and know what you're making and give them something really great. You might hear in the background there's lots of noises going on. I don't personally have a dog myself, but I have a new 4-month-old kitten. In fact, let me just grab her really quick. I'm gonna get her just so you can see her because she is raising heck right now. So this is my little girl. I just got her a few months ago. And she doesn't like to come in the kitchen for the most part unless I'm in here cooking and on camera. Then she likes to make lots of noise. So this is Ninx. She's 4 months old. She does not want to be held. But anyway, so I'm gonna make these delicious birthday cakes for dogs. I'm gonna walk through one of the recipes that you'll find on Mother Nature Network. It's mnn.com. And don't worry about having to write anything down because I'm actually going to put a link to the recipe and other recipes in the Facebook event for those of you that came across this video through that event. So I'll put a link there so you can just sit back, enjoy the show. Feel free to ask questions though. And I don't know, my mom is actually holding the camera just to let you know. And I don't know if the comments are scrolling. Sometimes the Facebook app freezes on the comments. So if you ask a question and it doesn't get answered for either the Facebook app or we just don't see it go by, don't worry, I always go back and answer the questions after the show. So please ask whatever you want to ask. And people are saying hi back. So please ask whatever you want, and don't worry, your question will get answered even if it doesn't happen now. Sometimes, is the Facebook app freezing?
No.
No? Okay, good. Okay, so I think the best way to start this off is for you guys to list out your pet's name. I already asked you in the Facebook event to tell me, to show me photos of your pets. It's always fun to see what people call their pets. I think it's, it says a lot about the person themselves, the pet owner. So just post your pets, all your pets' names, even the past pet, so like cat, dog, rabbit, turtle, whatever. I just love seeing the different names that people give to their pets, and also tell us the type of pet. And as a big favor, before we get started, if you don't mind, I love doing these shows. They're a lot of fun. I get a great chance to connect with people who want to learn new ways to cook. And I've had a bunch of people who will email me post the show and ask me questions, and it's really, really fun. So as a big favor, if you don't mind taking a moment to share this video on your Facebook stream, the more people we get watching, tuning in, making delicious treats for their pets, the better. And also be sure at the end of the episode, go check out Mother Nature Network, mnn.com. They have lots of recipes, lots of pet care recipes, lots of things. So let's get started. So we're gonna go on over, we have a question.
First, I want to say hi to Kathy and Kristen.
Okay. Hi, Kathy and Kristen. That's my mom. Like I said, if you hear her speaking, that's who it is behind the camera. She comes down and helps me out. We cook a lot together. That's where I learned to cook, is from my mom. So come on over here. I'm going to show you the ingredients over here that we're going to be working with today. So we're going to make delicious pet cakes. We're going to be using some coconut flour. Oops, don't want to spill it there. Some coconut flour. We have some baking soda. Few eggs, got some mashed up banana here, some peanut butter, and a little bit of cottage cheese. Now the first thing I want to talk about before I even get started is I'm using baking soda, and I recently did a video where I talked about the differences between baking soda and baking powder. Now this particular recipe, because it's using baking soda, means that once you mix it, you really need to put it into the cupcake containers and bake it. Baking soda starts working with the ingredients once it's mixed. It's just as soon as it comes in contact with moisture, it begins working. So if now this might not be as important with a pet cake because you're not as worried about, the fluffiness and airiness that baking soda provides for a pet cake. But like baking soda, because it begins working immediately with moisture, if you let it sit around, if you let it sit in the fridge, it's going to lose that power. And that means that you won't have fluffy, light, and airy baked goods. So that's just a little tip about baking soda. The difference is baking powder is dual action. It begins working with moisture also, but then it has a second action, which happens when it's heated up. So you can actually let that sort of set aside. So if you have any questions about baking soda or baking powder, please feel free to ask, but I just want to give you that quick little tip there. So, okay, so we're gonna jump in and come on over here. So I'm gonna just first mix in my 3 eggs and just whisk these together. And once again, I said that I'm gonna put I'll put the recipe in the show notes. So feel free to, just sit back and watch. And if you have any questions outside of the actual ingredients or measurements, ask away. I will answer them after the show. If not, don't worry about it. The ingredients will be in there. So I add in some cottage cheese. Now, there's actually some things you can't feed pets. They're not human. That probably seems obvious, but I think that some people maybe don't always think about that. For example, most of you probably know that you can't feed a dog chocolate, but you also can't feed a dog avocado. So there's actually quite a few things that you have to be careful of when you're giving them to a dog. And I actually have a great list that I will post in the Facebook. Actually, no, I'll post on this video as a comment after the video is over with. I'll post a list of like things that you can give your dog and things you definitely should not give your dog. So just to be careful there. So now we're gonna mix in some mashed banana. And our peanut butter. Because we all know dogs love peanut butter, right? I used to torture my dog a little bit when I was younger. Maybe it wasn't torture. I'm sure everyone does this, where you put peanut butter on your finger and they just, stick it to the roof of their mouth and just make them lick it forever. One of the joys of being young and having a pet. Okay, so we're just gonna whisk this together. And pets are not always as picky, especially dogs, about texture, so it doesn't have to be perfect, just has to be well combined. You don't have to worry about the larger chunks of the cottage cheese or anything like that. So now we're gonna throw in our coconut flour. Coconut flour is great for pet treats because it's, full of nutrients, high in protein, but it's also grain-free. And this whole recipe is grain-free and sugar-free, which is really, really great for your pets. So just like humans, dogs react to sugar intake. They get the same highs and lows, and so you want to keep sugar out of their diet, and they don't really need to have grains. So I'm just going to add in the coconut flour and our baking soda, and I'm just going to mix that together. My cat so I have my camera on a monopod, so that my mom can hold the camera next to me without her arm getting tired, and my cat is attacking the other end of the monopod. So if you notice that the film is a little shaky, that's because I have a 4-month-old kitten who thinks everything is a toy. And she keeps attacking everything that I try to use. Especially if it's the one thing that I don't want her to touch, that's the thing that she loves the most. So just mix all of this together. And like I said, you don't want to let this sit around too long because it has baking soda in it, and baking soda starts working immediately once it's added to any sort of mixture. So before I go ahead and add that into the muffin pans, I thought I would just take a quick second to ask, anyone have any questions? Is there any questions so far based on what we're making? Have you seen any fun pet names? Maybe the comments are frozen. I'm gonna check really quick. Let's just. Yeah, it looks like the comments might be frozen. Sorry about that. The Facebook app sometimes just hangs. I will answer them after the show. So I'm gonna transfer our batter here to the tray. So let's go ahead and just using an ice cream scoop. Just gonna add it in. Just a little bit. Now this is great if you're, if you're going to the dog park and you want to maybe give your friends who also have dogs a little treat for the day. Just think how popular you will be if you're the person that shows up with homemade pet treats. But this recipe is also pretty scalable. You can, you could have it or quadruple it depending if you, have a dog shelter, however you want to do it. I also have a recipe that I'm going to share in the Facebook event, which is it's just a perfect, simple one birthday cake type thing. So if you really are celebrating your dog's birthday and you just want to make a treat for them.
Can you add apple chunks?
You can. Apples are actually, in fact, that's a great question and perfect timing because the other recipe I was just referring to is apples, peanut butter, and egg. And so, you could definitely add apples to this. I'm going to post that list of pet safe foods so that way you can figure out what you can add to this. I think this recipe right here is pretty flexible as far as what you can and cannot add. So, definitely feel free to mix in other pet-friendly ingredients, especially if your dog has something that they really, really love.
And I didn't get the name, but somebody wants to know what city and state are you in?
I'm in Sacramento, California. I'm in Sacramento, California. I actually grew up here. I just moved back about 6 months ago, lived in the Bay Area for a while. But yeah, Sacramento, California, and where it's really hot, so you probably see me sweating. So here we have our tray of muffins that we filled in. I didn't make enough to fill these in, so let me just take these out really quick. And we're just gonna bake this for about 20 minutes, just so they're nice and set. And I'm not gonna bake it now because it's really hot, but you would put this in the oven at 350 degrees, bake it for 20 minutes until they're all nice and set. And when you're done, you're gonna have this.
Can you mix dog food?
That's actually a really good question. I mean, I imagine you could. I don't actually know the exact. I mean, it's just dog food, so it's pet safe, right? It's already pet friendly. So you probably could actually mix dog food into it if you maybe having trouble getting your dog to eat. Maybe this might be a fun way to try to trick them into eating more higher protein ingredients. But yeah, I imagine you could. As long as you're adding in ingredients that are safe for your dog, which I'll put a link to that in the video. As long as you're adding in those ingredients, I don't see why not. And I mean, it's pretty well binded with the 3 eggs and the peanut butter. I mean, it's gonna hold together, and maybe you don't even care if it does stick together. So this is what the doggy cakes look like. I mean, you wouldn't know any better, right? You almost would think that you could eat them yourself.
Muffins.
Yeah, they look just straight up like muffins. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you, this is nice and all. That's a nice little muffin. I mean, you can see the texture there. See the cottage cheese in there. It's a fun little muffin. It's all good for your pet. No sugar, no grains.
After you're done cooking them, can you refrigerate them?
You can, yeah. And I think these would actually freeze pretty well too, based on the ingredients that are in here. These would definitely freeze well. So, I mean, it's pretty simple. It's just coconut flour, eggs, some fruit, and peanut butter. So, I mean, this is an easy treat to make a large batch of to have on hand for your pet at any time. So, but this is a great little muffin. It's perfect for your dog, but this isn't a birthday cake. So we're gonna go on to the next step and actually turn this into a birthday cake, which involves making a little bit of frosting for the dog. So this is simple frosting. We're just gonna we have some softened cream cheese here, which is all okay for your doggy to eat, and just some more peanut butter. And I'm just gonna mix the two of these together, just so they're decently combined. Now the thing about making this frosting is once you make it, you would want to put it in. Once you make it, you'd want to put it in the fridge to cool, but we're not gonna have the time for it to chill right now before I use it. So I'm just gonna show you how to make it quickly, and we'll kind of fake it a little bit. So just take a look here. So let's mix this together. And if you have any other questions, feel free to chime in. Let's mix that together. Now I'm using a crunchier peanut butter. That's what I had on hand. So it's a little, the texture there is getting a little off, but I just want to show you a quick trick if you're actually making, let's look here. So if you're making the frosting, a quick little trick is you don't need a fancy piping bag to frost these cupcakes. You can just use a plastic bag, Ziploc bag, put that there, and just transfer the frosting into the bag, and yeah, work it down there. That, like so, just twist it, get it all the way in there. Now, like I said, you definitely want to put this in the refrigerator and let it chill for about an hour before you use it, because the firmer it is, the easier it is to work with. But just clip it off like that, and you know, when you're doing a cupcake, it just, there you go, it's simple as that. So super easy. You don't need a fancy piping bag. I mean, if you have one, use it, but don't run out to the store and buy one just to do something like this. You can easily use a Ziploc bag to, well, that was not the best job because the frosting's not chilled, but you get the idea. You can frost the cupcake, and so that's what it's gonna look like. Now, when it's all said and done, I think what you wanna do is put a candle in it and celebrate your dog's birthday, right? So here I have one that I did earlier, and somewhere around here I have a lighter. Oh, that's right, there we go. Here we go. So celebrate your dog's birthday, have them, oops, there we go. Let's try that one more time. There we go. So how fun does that look? Like, okay, your dog's probably not gonna blow out the candle. You're probably gonna have to do that for them, but still, you know, prop your dog up, give them a birthday cupcake, and boom, it's like all nice and organic ingredients. You know, you don't want to feed your dog stuff you wouldn't give yourself. So nice organic ingredients, healthy, simple, easy to make, and you can make them ahead, freeze them, like I said, mix in other ingredients. I will put the full list of things that you can and cannot give your dog in the video comments. Like I said, be sure to check out mnn.com. They have a lot of information there about not just pet recipes, but like pet care, how to, you know, pet health, plus also human recipes, because I've actually done a few recipes for the website. So there's that too. So check that out. You can make them this delicious doggy birthday cake. And, you know, it's, like I said, it's that easy. Now I'm going to put a link to another recipe in the show notes. It's really simple. This one, you know, has more going on than the other one. The other one is just basically egg, apple, and peanut butter. Really easy, like kind of like a one little tiny cake thing. So if you don't want to make a whole batch or make them ahead of time, you can just make that one simple cake to celebrate your dog's birthday. I'm gonna see if my cat likes this, so give me 1 second. I'm gonna go fetch her and see how this works. Let's see if she'll, okay. I don't know if she'll go for it. I'm gonna blow out the candle and you eat the cupcake, okay? She's like, I don't want anything to do with that. Okay, see it? See the food? See the food? No? No? Any interest? It might be cat friendly. She, you know. Anyway, okay, now I'll try to put the cat down. So thank you so much for tuning in. Once again, like I said, I'll put the links into, okay, let me put her down first. I'll put links in the video show notes about how you can easily make these cupcakes. They're not hard. You saw me just whip it up right here. There's a couple different recipes, mnn.com, and also, she's still attacking the poll. And I'll also put in a link for what you can and cannot give your dog, because it's really important. Like I said, most of you probably know chocolate is bad, but avocado, stuff like that, there's other things out there, things that are really common in probably in every household that you would never think that's bad for your dog, but actually is. So we want to make sure that we keep our furry friends safe. And once again, thank you for tuning in. This is JJS Live. I'm Jerry James Stone. If you want to check out some of my other videos, I will also put a link in there to what I have going on for the rest of the season. Next week, I'm making a recipe for my friend cookbook, so that's gonna be a lot of fun. And we have some great things coming up. So tune in for other stuff. Please ask any questions you want, and I will go answer them right now in case we missed them here. And thanks again, and I will talk to you guys soon.